last 10 years, I maintained less than 10% body fat. In today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I did that and how you can do it too in a very easy way. I'm gonna show you how I meal prep my food to stay lean the whole year. I'm gonna show you how we make 3 days worth of food in less than 30 minutes. But before we dive into that, let's talk about why it's really the only way for people with ambition. If you know a little bit about fitness, you also know that 80% of what gets you results is going to come from nutrition. You also know that if you want to make something out of yourself in business or at your job, you're gonna have to work your ass off. So the thing is that you don't really need to choose one or the other, but in exchange, you are going to have to make nutrition, which is again, 80% of what gets you results, as efficient as you can. So unless you have private chef money, it's the only way to go. Time is your most valuable asset. Before we make the food, we're gonna have to buy the food. It's 2025, you should not be going to the grocery store. I haven't been in the grocery store in ages. I hate going there, I can never find anything. I always waste time walking through these aisles, checking out, going in my car. It's not necessary. It's 2025, just get it delivered to your house. So what I use is Instacart. And Instacart is extremely convenient. And I'm gonna show you how much time it takes to do my groceries for 1 week. I pick up my iPad. I typically buy at Costco. So I hit Costco. Now the beautiful thing about Instacart is that it saves your previous order. So everything you ordered the time previously, you can just re-add it to your cart. So I just hit this plus sign and I re-add pretty much anything that I need for my meal prep. Some sparkling water, I love sparkling water. And by the time that is done, I hit the little shopping cart icon. Now it saves my address, it saves my payment information, and it saves my previous order, meaning I can do all the groceries for the week in 30 seconds. So now compare that to going in your car, driving to the grocery store, walking through these aisles, spending time waiting in line in checkout, going back to your car to load it, then driving back to your house, unloading the car. Like, you can't beat that. So now you might think, well, yeah, that sounds great, Marco. It's very convenient, but it's also very expensive, which I don't really agree with, because think about it this way. How often do you go to the grocery store with a little list, right? And then you have 4 to 5 items in your cart that were not on your list because you got tempted walking through these aisles. That will never happen with Instacart, so you save money there. And then also think about how much time you save by just getting it ordered and delivered to your house. If you were to calculate your hourly wage and you compare that to the amount of time that you save with Instacart, it's not gonna be so bad. All right, let's get started. So only a couple things we need. We need a big pan for the beef. We're gonna need a pot for the rice, and then we're gonna need the air fryer for the broccoli later on. So what I have here is, of course, the beef. I have some salt, I have some garlic powder, some turmeric, I have some beef seasoning. This is actually from the Netherlands. I have the best beef and chicken seasoning. Really good. And then I have one of this Kinder's lemon pepper brand, which I really like on red meat. Then of course we got the rice, got the broccoli, got a little bit of lemon juice, and that is it. Okay, so we're gonna start with the rice. So I put 3 cups of water in this pot right here, and 1.5 cups of rice right there. That I did already prepare, because you gotta wash the rice a little bit. So the rice is there, the water is there. I'm gonna set the timer right now. We're running. So the first thing that we're gonna have to do is light up the stove, and then we put a little bit of olive oil. A little bit, put a little bit of salt, and put a little bit of garlic powder. Now we're going to wait for this to boil. And in the meantime, we're gonna work on the beef. So let's light this up as well. Okay, so that's already starting to smell good. Now, the water is boiling for the rice. So you grab this. Again, this was 1.5 cups because we put 3 cups of water. We're gonna put that right in. And then over time, we're gonna have to stir this up a little bit. Okay, so that beef's going really fast. That's why I like to meal prep with beef as opposed to like chicken, because beef is so much faster. I'm gonna put this a little bit lower. And in the meantime, we're gonna work on the broccoli. So I'm gonna show you how you can make broccoli actually taste good. So we're gonna grab the broccoli right here. And we're gonna put it in the air fryer. We're gonna start with this first bag. And then we're gonna season it a little bit. We're gonna start with a little bit of olive oil. You drizzle that on top. A little bit of salt. A little bit of garlic powder. And then the secret ingredient, a little bit of lemon juice. Put it around a little bit, then you put the second bag, you repeat the whole process. Then we're gonna put it in here. We wanna make sure that the temperature is at 360 degrees. We're gonna do that for about 20 minutes. And then when it's done, what you're gonna see is that the broccoli is not so plain. It's actually gonna be a little bit crunchy, especially after 20 minutes. Gets a little bit brown, amazing flavor, amazing texture. That's how I like my veggies. Okay, so now we've got the broccoli in the air fryer. We've got the beef that is almost done. The rice is gonna be another 10 minutes probably. And we are 12 minutes into this process. So what I typically do right now is I lower this a little bit, and now I have a couple minutes to clean all of this up. Okay, so now we're going to prepare the containers because that's where all the meal prep is gonna go in. So I like to use glass containers. All right, everything is done. We just packed everything up in these little glass containers, which we also filmed, but then we realized that the audio wasn't working, so great. Anyways, I did lie earlier in the video because looking at the time, we are at 32 minutes and not the 30 minutes that I advertised, but you get the point. So I typically have a big smoothie for breakfast, some eggs during the day as well, which is very fast to make. Then I have 3 of those, and then typically around the evening, I'll make some Greek yogurt, put some protein powder in there with grapes and blueberries. Amazing snack, but that's my diet. It doesn't really take me any time. All right, so that was it. People don't understand how I can eat this every single day, but think about it. 1 pot on the stove with beef, broccoli in the air fryer, 1 pot on the stove with rice. You cook it for like 20 minutes, clean up for 10 minutes. That's 30 minutes. So if you do that for 1 day or you make it for 3 days, it takes the same amount of time. Do that twice a week, spend an hour per week in the kitchen, and you're done with 80% of what gets you results, which is nutrition. It makes me feel good, it makes my body look good, it helps me reach my goals, and it barely takes me any time. That's 1 hour per week, meaning you have all these hours that you can spend on your business, spend with your family, spend it any way you want. What are you doing, buddy? It's good. I know it seems very boring, it seems very repetitive, but just try it for a week, right? Try and see how your body feels, experience how much time you save with this, and then let me know how it goes. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.